Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, movie freaks, disc collectors, restoration warriors, pop culture lovers, and comment section legends. This is the inaugural AVA Pop Culture Movie Awards. And this isn't Hollywood patting itself on the back. This isn't an industry press release disguised as a trophy. These are awards about movies that lasted, movies that were rescued, movies that were pressed onto discs, restored frame by frame, and handed back to the fans who actually care. So tonight, we are celebrating the best 4Ks, the best restorations, the labels that did it right, and all things pop culture. And yes, we will have a few Razzies for the things that miss the mark. Every category is stacked, every winner is earned, and this is just officially year one. So let's roll the cameras and hit the red carpet. Pop that tape in. I got you. Let's go do this. All right, so we're going to start off this big event. I am so pumped here. I hope you enjoy this ride because, man, this was a lot of fun, and hopefully this is just year one of many great years to come. We're going to start it off with a little fun, kind of Razzie, a little poke, not to be taken too seriously, but this is the one for the loudest comment section of the year. Maybe Fanboy Awards, you know what I'm talking about. Some labels release movies, others release fans, argument, and just overall discourse, however you want to look at it. But these are the fan bases that turn every announcement into the greatest thing in the world or the biggest battlefield in the world. And the nominees are Vinegar Syndrome. Yes, it has a loud fan base, but is it as loud as the second nominee, The Criterion Collection? Now, known by cinephiles and fans alike, Criterion definitely spawns some discussion. And finally, the third nominee is Arrow Video. Now, Arrow does great work. They get elevated, maybe sometimes above where they should be. Maybe they get hit sometimes harder than they should. But either way, their fans are loud and they let you know about it. So they round out our nominations here for the top three. But one fan base consistently dominates timelines, comment sections, and replies with passion, defensiveness, and lengthy essays, and that is Arrow Video. Yes, they are the winner. Congratulations, Arrow fans. You have accomplished a big Razzie. If Arrow drops a title, the internet knows about it. Love it or hate it, Arrow fans always show up, and they are quick to tell you how great Arrow is. All right, keeping the energy up to start us off here. This is all in good fun, but we've got to have a Razzie for the most overhyped and maybe oversold boutique label. Now, this one's all in good fun, but let's also be honest here. And we're going to call them out right now. The nominees are Kino Lorber. Kino has a big library. There are a lot of hardcore Kino lovers, but Kino kind of takes some shortcuts sometimes when it comes to physical media restoration. They're kind of bare bones, but hey, they get hyped up because they put so much stuff out there and they have their fans. Now, the next one is a repeat nominee, and it is Arrow Video. Look, Arrow gets hyped up, and rightly so. They do a lot of good work, but a lot of times, maybe, just maybe, they're oversold just a little bit, and some of the things that they don't do the best kind of get overshadowed. Shortcuts they take kind of get forgotten because let's be honest, by and large, they do awesome work giving us what we want. But that doesn't mean, just because something's great, doesn't mean it can't be a little overhyped. Arrow earns the nomination here. And finally, the third nominee is Second Sight Films. Listen, Second Sight does great work. They put out massive box sets and all of that, but man, I'm gonna tell you, you would think they are the greatest thing since sliced bread if you check any comment section anytime something is announced, and it doesn't matter if they are just releasing something that has been released a bunch of times already. If it comes from Second Sight, you are going to hear about it. As we say in the South, the grits might be overcooked just a little bit, but Second Sight Films rounds out our 3 nominees for the most overhyped boutique label. Now, these labels all make quality releases, but quality doesn't always equal consistency, and sometimes the work doesn't really reflect the amount of celebration that it gets, and for that reason, the winner is Second Sight Films. Now, this was a close horse race right here between Arrow Video, but in the end, I think Arrow's good work kind of overshadows a little bit of the too much hype that they sometimes get. They get oversold just a little bit, but Second Sight Films, I believe, is just a little rung up on the hype train for what they are giving us each month. So Second Sight Films takes home our second Razzie of the night. All right, now it's time to get into some real awards, and the first big award of the night is Best New Physical Media Label. Starting a new label in this era is insane. Succeeding, that is even more rare of a thing, but there were a few this year that came on the scene real hard and they made an impact, and the nominees are Ignite Films. They came in with their first big release, just their third release overall, and they knocked it out of the ballpark with Reanimator, a holy grail horror film that we've all been waiting on. They definitely announced themselves as a big-time player going forward with a lot more horror releases coming. Ignite Films is our first nominee. Now, our second nominee is a studio offshoot, but don't let that dissuade you because they are right in it nose first with us physical media and movie pop culture lovers, and that is Lionsgate Limited. There is no doubt about the great work they have done this year. Now, they do have a full studio behind them, but that does not matter. They have the sort of indie boutique heart, and they are putting out quality content. Lionsgate Limited is our second nominee. Now, our final nominee came out of nowhere too, a classic gothic horror staple, and that is Hammer Films, hitting the ground running with some massive releases. Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter, The Curse of Frankenstein, huge box sets. They left no stone unturned in announcing their authority here. Hammer Films is synonymous with horror films and movie making magic for years, and they are our third nominee. Now, the big winner for everything that they have done this year, from premium package to big swings on holy grails we were looking for, everything from Tarantino to Frailty, our winner is Lionsgate Limited. In the end, you just cannot deny the amount of great films they have put out. They have put out things at great prices, beautiful steelbooks. They've had some misses this year. Knock, knock, I'm looking at you with some packaging questions here, and they've had some disc problems, but everything they have put out, from the Tarantino films to Frailty, you just cannot overlook what they have done. American Psycho, Dogma, so much. The Third Man, there's just so much out there. Lionsgate Limited takes home the prize for the best new physical media boutique label of the year. Now into Every Life, A Little Rain Must Fall, and we are going to have, I wouldn't call this a Razzie Award. This is a legitimate sort of, here's an award, do better going forward, because it's not the kind of award you want to win, and that is for the worst physical media packaging of the year. Great films deserve great presentation. There's no doubt about it, and sometimes they just do not get it. And our nominees need to do better in that arena, and the first nominee is the Criterion Collection. Now, these are not bad, but there is little to no effort put in them. There's no slip covers. I get it. We're clean Criterion, right? But at least when you go from a Blu-ray to a 4K, you could change the artwork so that we don't have to look for a little label to let us know the difference between the Blu-ray and the 4K. Give us something different, just a little more effort in the packaging, and the Criterion Collection would have the packaging prestige to go with the prestige of their library releases. Criterion is our first nominee, and the second nominee is Kino Lorber. Kino Lorber does just little paper, flimsy slip covers, and they run out of them very fast. If you don't order a film very fast from Kino, you're not even going to get the little paper cover. So we need to do better, Kino. We need to do more than just scans and paper cover. We need to get into those restorations and give good slip covers, at least make them available for a long time. They are our second nominee. Now, our final nominee is a small boutique that a lot of people love, from horror film fans to cinephiles, and that is A24. Now, A24 releases a lot of their own stuff, but almost none of it is going to fit on your shelf. It is oddball packaging. It's weird. It's too big. It's like a book. It's media books. It's all over the place packaging, and I can't really find anyone who likes it, so they are our third nominee. And the winner of the award you do not want to win is A24. Look, minimalism is fine. Doing all the kind of weird artsy stuff you want to do is fine, but we expect a little more effort, and we expect the films to fit on our shelves at the very least. Come on, A24, do a little bit better. At least give us packaging that fits on our shelves. They take home the one award you don't want to win: worst physical media packaging. All right, so let's flip that energy with the next award, and the next award is best physical media packaging, and we have a very tough competition here with the nominees. And the first nominee is Vinegar Syndrome. Now, they have lots of different packaging, including their VSUs, which is their top of the line packaging, and they are well known for great packaging and artwork most of the time. Now, our second nominee came out of nowhere and people forget about them, but I am going with Imprint Films. And look, this is their standard sort of packaging. You know, you can get just a standard, but their box set releases are extremely awesome. And then they do prestige releases like The Keep, these huge box set releases that are like nothing else anyone is putting out, and they get a big nomination right here. And our final nominee is Arrow Films. Arrow Video, they put great box sets. Everyone loves a good Arrow Video chunky box. Their slip covers are nice and thick. Great packaging, usually great artwork, great supplemental materials. You cannot go wrong with Arrow Video. They are our fourth and final nominee. And the winner is, in a shocker, Imprint Films. Listen, when you're putting out releases like this as your top of the line, and then this is your middle with the box set, and then you're still offering slipcover and standard versions, Imprint Films coming in hard with the big win. The Keep was awesome, elegant, premium, collector first. The packaging feels like an event. Great job, Imprint Films. All right, so this is an award show, and in an award show, there is usually that moment that we take time to stop and recognize all of the incredible and talented people that we have lost this year. Now, while there's no way for me to recognize everyone because it has been a very rough year in the legends that we have lost, I did want to take just a couple of minutes here and put together this montage for those great, talented people that have left us much too soon and who have meant a lot to me. So if you will indulge my in memoriam here, from everyone to the biggest stars to YouTube creators who we've lost, this is a moment of reflection to be thankful for everything. Please take a moment and remember these talented people.
When you make something, it's then for everybody else. But the making of it is what you have for yourself.
You are witnessing a front three-quarter view of two adults sharing a tender moment.
Be my wingman anytime.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound, oh, that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear me out I first believed. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound, oh, that saved a wretch like me. Oh, I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Decisions you make now are yours and yours alone.
I try to put out the human experience in all the films. It's tragic and dramatic, and it's funny too.
The truth is, it goes by fast, doesn't it?
Like the blink of an eye.
Yeah. And I had the time of my life.
An incredible performance of Amazing Grace by my uncle, Keith Jenkins, and I just thought it was fitting to remember these people who have touched so many of us in so many ways, and we've lost them too soon. But remember, legends never die. And now let's get that energy back up here with a fun little category that I decided to create, because you know, here on AVA Pop Culture, we are all about pop culture and nostalgia. I don't care if it's Halloween in the 80s, 90s, 70s, Christmas 80s, 90s, 70s, 80s and 90s, movies, toys, whatever it is, we dive into all of it here right along with films and filmmaking. So I started thinking, are we finally turning the page? Are we finally going to start going back and making movies that were just entertainment first? First and foremost, they were entertainment, no messaging, no anything, just good, solid films. So I thought, you know what? We're going to make a category on new movies that feel the most old school, the most 80s, the most 90s, the nostalgia bait, the real energy, the real excitement, and just fun of not taking things too seriously. And I have 3 great nominees. The first nominee is F1. This movie just feels like an old school action film. It's great. It's done by the same director as Top Gun Maverick, so it stands to reason. But I really enjoyed F1. It's just a good old school action movie, and that's why it earns its spot here as a nominee. And the second film, now this one's just a little bit of a cheat because it came out, I believe, at the end of 2024. I'm not 100% certain, but I did not see it till 2025. And that is Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. Now, this is a continuation of the Beverly Hills Cop franchise, and it feels like it picked right up where it left off. There's not a lot of stuff that you see in new action movies. It's kind of old school throwback in a way, and I appreciate that. And when we want to talk about old school throwbacks, it doesn't get bigger than our last nominee, The Naked Gun. Now look, The Naked Gun didn't care about offending anyone. That's the same way it used to be when you went to the cinema back in the 80s, and it earns its nominee here because of that. And the winner is The Naked Gun. Listen, fast jokes, offensive jokes, broad comedy, no apology. This one understood the assignment of old school comedies that don't care about whether you are sensitive or not. They just care about making you laugh and pointing out things in a satirical way. The Naked Gun wins the inaugural Movies That Feel the Most Old School 80s 90s award. It earns it. All right, and our next category is Best TV Show of the Year. Now, TV is all over the place these days, streaming 100 different algorithms, whatever, but narrowing it down to just good writing, good cinematography, fun, entertainment, all of that stuff, television that feels cinematic, confident, and built to last. I have 5 nominees, and the first nominee is Fallout on Amazon Prime, based off a video game, and it is a lot of fun. The same streaming service carries our next nominee, and that is Reacher. Now, Reacher has movies that was put out with Tom Cruise. It's based on a book series, and now it has Alan Ritchson, working out and kicking butt, but it is still a fun action throwback. Now, taking it over to Paramount, we have Landman, and that is a really well-acted series with Billy Bob Thornton and Ali Larter, and it earns a nomination here, as does a nostalgic classic starring my man Marty Cove in its final season, Cobra Kai. This builds on the Karate Kid legacy, and it did it in a fantastic way over multiple seasons. It earns a spot here, as does our final nominee, It, Welcome to Derry. Now, this is based on the It books, the interlude chapters in the books. Started a little slow, closed out with a bang, and it earns its spot here as a nominee. And the winner is It, Welcome to Derry. Atmosphere, world building, legacy done right. This show earned the victory here. If you haven't seen it, I would check it out. If you are a fan of horror, if you're a fan of any of the It movies, the original, the remake, I don't care. This one will pull you in. Great acting, great cinematography. A little slow the first few episodes, but worth it in the end. And now we have the award for the best new movie of the year. And this was kind of hard because this was not the best year overall for feature-length films. Big swings, big risks, big misses in some cases, big reactions, big rejections. But my 3 nominees start with the aforementioned F1, an old school action throwback, great director, Brad Pitt carrying this, just a simple story and a lot of fun. And the next nominee is Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein on Netflix. Listen, I did a full review of this on the channel. I don't normally do that. It was a really, really well done film. Hard to argue with his vision. There could have, everybody's going to want their own vision of Frankenstein, but it was very enjoyable. It earns a nomination here. And the surprise that is sort of a feature-length docudrama, it is I Like Me, about John Candy, and this is absolutely phenomenal. There is no doubt about it. If you haven't seen it, you must check it out. Definitely earns a nomination. And the winner of the Best New Movie of the Year is Frankenstein. Now listen, I honestly wanted to give this to I Like Me, but because it leans more as a documentary, I had to side with Frankenstein. I like Frankenstein, bold, stylish, confident, sort of ethereal, surreal, the way Guillermo del Toro always does it. It reminds us that new movies can still be important. And while I give it the edge, I really, really encourage you to check out I Like Me. Absolutely incredible. And now we are getting into our biggest awards of the year, and the first one is the Best Major Studio Physical Media Label of the Year. Now, if you follow me, I separate studios and boutiques. You can't compare them together. Studios have access to their entire library of films. They can do what they want to with them. They have much bigger budgets. They don't have to get approval for anything. While boutiques, they have to license whatever they can get from those studios. They don't have as much money. They have to do all the work themselves. It's a very different game. So I separate them into different categories. So for the best studios, the nominees are Lionsgate Limited. Hey, look, we talked about them earlier. They've done a great job. Also a nominee is Warner Brothers. Now listen, there is a lot of drama going on around Warner Brothers right now that did not stop them from having a great year. Another label that had a great year is Sony. When Sony puts out a great 4K, they do not miss. This year was no different. And the final nominee, oddly enough, is Paramount. Paramount does great 4K work. They have a commitment to physical media. That's why overall, if Warner Brothers does have to sell, I would rather Paramount win, because both studios have a commitment to physical media that Netflix just does not have, and we want to keep our physical media. Paramount doing great work. They are also a nominee. And the winner for Best Major Studio Label of the Year is Warner Brothers. Look, no matter how you feel about them, depth, consistency, catalog respect, Warner Brothers still understands the value of physical media. They're putting out huge chunky boxes all over the place. We've got Lethal Weapon this year. We got Constantine this year. We've got Conjuring. We've got Nightmare on Elm Street, all the movies. Warner Brothers has put out a ton of absolute bangers this year. To deny that is folly. No matter how you feel about them, they do great work, and they have just put out some incredible films this year. Warner Brothers takes home the award. And staying with studios for our next award is the Best Studio 4K Release. Now, there are several nominees in this category because it was just hard to narrow them down, but we're going to start off with Sony and Night of the Living Dead, 1990, Tom Savini's work. Absolutely incredible restoration. I cover all of these restorations and review them on my Patreon. That link is down below, but this one is a very worthy nominee. Now on to Disney for our next, and it is the long-awaited Tombstone. The biggest problem with this for most people was getting your hands on it because it was so popular, but one of the best Westerns, in my opinion, ever made. One of my favorites. I love Kurt Russell. The restoration is done right. When Disney puts the work in, they really put the work in, and Tombstone was a big title. Now, though, we go back to Sony again for Kingdom of Heaven. Listen, a great film, underrated film, but this restoration here is absolutely stunning. Great work, definitely worthy of the nomination. And to Warner Brothers we go for Lethal Weapon. I got the big box set version. You can get a steel book version. You can get a standard version. Doesn't matter. They both have the director's cut and the theatrical cut in 4K. Lots of supplemental materials and just extremely well done, and a high priority title for most people out there. We have a few more nominees, and the next nominee is a sneaky one. This is technically Warner Brothers as well, even though it has MGM on the side, and that is Goldfinger. The Sean Connery James Bond, probably my favorite James Bond of Connery's. And this restoration does not disappoint. Absolutely incredible. They all look good. This one stands out above the rest. And two more nominations. We go back over here to Sony for A Knight's Tale. No denying how good this one looks. Bright, beautiful, bold, done right. This is an incredible 4K and worthy of a nomination. And our final nomination is from Lionsgate Limited, and it's Quentin Tarantino's Jackie Brown. One of the best 4K restorations I've seen. A lot of these could say that. Jackie Brown, absolutely understated elegance of a 4K restoration, and it earns a nomination. And the winner of the Best Studio 4K release of the year is Jackie Brown from Lionsgate Limited. I think it is the best restoration of any Quentin Tarantino film. And while there's a case to be made for all of these, this one is so stunning that people who have watched it on my setup that know nothing about movies stopped and gawked at it. It's hard to argue against that. If the normies are picking it and realizing how good it is, tasteful restoration, film first philosophy, exactly how a title like this should be treated, Jackie Brown takes home the win for Best Studio 4K of the year. Now, the next award is for the unsung heroes. As someone who makes films and worked in film restoration, I can tell you that is a very hard job. So this is for the 4K restoration team of the year, and the nominees are Scream Factory Shout Studios. They are often overlooked, but man, their quality has always been top notch, especially considering the volume they put out. This year they put out so many great 4Ks. We have the Blaxploitation Volume 1 and 2. They did Hard Boiled. They have a whole Hong Kong cinema line. We have all kinds of Oliver Stone films like Alexander. We have Primary Colors. We have Scent of a Woman. We have What Lies Beneath, Robert Zemeckis. We have great films all over the place. Savages, just on and on. And then you go into their genre stuff. Humanoids from the Deep, Galaxy of Terror, End of Days. They just really released banger after banger and top-notch 4K quality, and I think people kind of underestimate them a little bit. They earn a nomination, as does Vinegar Syndrome, which you should see coming. Vinegar Syndrome is well known for their 4K restorations, and they sort of made their bones in 4K restoration, and it shows on every single title. And the final nominee is Arrow Video. Listen, Arrow can occasionally have a mistake. They don't do as many of their own 4Ks as everyone else. They will license some stuff. I would say they probably do about 65-70% of their own work. The rest is licensed from someone else. But the work they do, when they hit it, is second to none. So they earn a nomination here. And the winner for Best 4K Restoration Team of the Year is a surprise. Scream Factory Shout Studios, knocking off the perennial kind of champion Vinegar Syndrome. Quietly one of the strongest technical years that you could have. The Blaxploitation, the Humanoids from the Deep. I could just go on and on again. I think people forget the amount of titles they put out. Precision, respect, high quality, a pioneer in boutique labels. Shout Factory, Scream Factory, Shout Studios, however you want to refer to them, I refer to them as winners of 4K Restoration Team of the Year. And we have reached the top 3 biggest awards in the inaugural AVA Pop Culture Movie Awards, and the first of those is Best Physical Media Boutique of the Year. Consistency, vision, trust, quality, selection, catalog, all of that goes into the nominations, and the nominees are Scream Factory, Shout Studios. Great work. We just talked about a lot of it. The next nominee is Arrow Video. Listen, great, just all over the place, banger titles, lots of great work. They have to be here. And the final nominee is Criterion. The Criterion Collection, known worldwide for its quality of cinema amongst cinephiles. And this year, they had one of their best title years, in my opinion, that they've ever had. But the absolute winner this year is Arrow Video. Listen, this year, they put out everything. We got the Dollars trilogy, Man with No Name trilogy. We got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles set on 4K. All 3 of those films. We got The Mask on 4K. We got Dark City on 4K. We got Cobra on 4K. A sneaky contender maybe for 4K of the year. On and on and on. Deep Blue Sea. We could continue the titles that they put out this year and the work that went into them. We had Jason Goes to Hell. We had Jason X. Just an absolutely loaded calendar of quality. It doesn't matter if you feel that they're overhyped or anything else. There's no denying the work that they have done this year. Arrow Video comes in with the Boutique of the Year award. And that's just down to 2 awards left, and the next one is a big one, and that is Physical Media Release of the Year. This is about impact. This is not just about the best looking 4K. This is about pop culture impact, movie impact, physical media impact, all of it. And the nominees are A Nightmare on Elm Street collection by Warner Brothers, the Wes Anderson archive from Criterion, The Keep from Imprint Films, The Beyond from Grindhouse Films, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles set from Arrow Video, and Reanimator from Ignite Films. And the winner of the Physical Media Release of the Year is A Nightmare on Elm Street set by Warner Brothers. Now listen, the Wes Anderson archive is the only set I do not have. I have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles set. I have The Beyond. I have Reanimator. I have The Keep. I have all of these great sets. But the cultural impact of Nightmare on Elm Street, the long wait, we had nothing but some old kind of janky Blu-rays forever. And to bring you this set in this quality is just something that's been waited on so long. It's like a holy grail. You can get the standard copy too, but this had the most impact, and it was probably the most sought after complete set of anything that you could get. And for that reason, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Wes Craven would be proud all these years later. It takes home the victory for Physical Media Release of the Year. And we have reached the biggest award of the night. This is like waiting to the end of the Oscars to see who won Best Picture. Well, this is kind of the same thing because this is Best 4K of the Year, and we have a very very tough nominee section. This was the biggest amount of nominees that I had because I just could not narrow it down any further than this. And the first nominee is from the Criterion Collection. It is Eyes Wide Shut. Stanley Kubrick's last film, Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, twisted, sordid, beautiful cinematography in this, just like every other Kubrick film, and a very well done, well worth it release by Criterion. It had to be a nominee. And a sneaky one that no one's going to think about, that people forgot about, done by Little 88 Films. I am talking American Pie 2 for my second nomination. This might be better than their work that they did on the first American Pie. This thing looks like I've never seen it before. Beachscapes on the lake, all absolutely incredible. Just a well done, iconic film. American Pie 2 with a nomination. And one that was sort of like a holy grail we've all waited on, and Ignite Films came out of nowhere to give us the Reanimator. Oh man, this is one of the best 4Ks I have ever seen. I did a review of this, the great packaging, the painstaking work. It had to have a nomination here. And we have a few more nominees here because this is a knife fight in a phone booth. And the next nominee is also out of nowhere, an overlooked, underseen title by Screen Factory. It is Humanoids from the Deep. Easily one of the top 5 restorations I have ever seen. This film has no right to look this good. It is a serious contender. Humanoids from the Deep. Now the final two, well actually I have 2 here. So the next one up is The Mask from Arrow Video, a great film that a lot of us have been waiting on forever. The colors, the cartoon nature of this were going to lend itself as long as the restoration was done well, and it was. This is a great release here by Arrow Video. It earns a nomination. And the final nominee is also from Arrow Video. It is Dark City. Now, this is a film that I admittedly do not care for all that much. It's okay, but there is no denying the impact of this release, the quality of this release. It is incredible. It is a nominee here. And before I get to the winner, I'm just going to tell you there is a lot of potential nominees. I really wanted to put Cobra in here from Arrow Video. I think it's every bit as good as Dark City and The Mask as far as the restoration. It could be here, but when you talk about release of the year, they missed it on the chunky box. It deserved to be a chunky box, and that kind of held it back when you're looking at overall 4K of the year here. But when you go right down to it, the winner, without question, this year, it is one of the top 2 or 3, if not the best 4K I've ever seen, is Reanimator from Ignite Films. I think if I had to tell you the best 4Ks I've ever seen, it would be Reanimator from Ignite Films. It would be Convoy from Imprint Films and Studio Canal. And to be quite honest with you, Humanoids from the Deep is probably in that top 3 as well. Jackie Brown is probably in the top 5. There, A Knight's Tale is up there. Just absolutely incredible restorations. The Searchers, the 10 Commandments, these are all like best I've ever seen. This is in the conversation, and for that reason, it is a masterclass in restoration, film grain, color, packaging, everything you could possibly want, extras. This is what a 4K is supposed to be. Reanimator from Ignite Films takes home the biggest award, 4K of the year. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the first annual AVA Pop Culture Movie Awards. This isn't about trends. This was about preservation of pop culture, of movies, of the things we love, the things we are passionate about. It is about passion. It's about giving movies and pop culture and all those things that unite us the respect that they deserve. If physical media matters to you, if pop culture matters to you, if nostalgia and preservation and the things we grew up with and connect us all together matter to you, then this is the place to be. This is the place to bring it all together and meet people and connect with people who feel the same and launch this movement even bigger. This isn't the end. This is the beginning. See you next year for the next awards and a video every single day. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. If you want to help support this movement, what we are doing here, then you can join my Patreon. The link is below. You'll get your name in lights on every other video. You will get all kinds of behind the scenes looks at my filmmaking, special members only videos, physical media, 4K deep dive reviews, and so much more to continue this movement and bring it to more and more people and connect us all with positivity and the pop culture that made us. And until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye. I know.